If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now.
Life has never played by the rules, and it sure as hell doesn't owe you a smooth ride. When your world crumbles beneath you, don't hunt for an easy way out. Turn inward and discover the fierce resolve you never knew was there. Most people collapse under life's blows, clamoring for sympathy, screaming at the heavens, and hoping someone else will stitch their shattered pieces back together. But here's the raw truth. Nobody's coming to save you. It's either you or no one. Every hard knock that life throws isn't just random cruelty. It's a ruthless invitation to stand taller, fight harder, and carve out the unbreakable core you didn't think you had. I learned this firsthand when a sudden betrayal flipped my world upside down. I'd handed someone my entire trust, only to feel it ripped away. For a moment, I wanted to drown in my own pity, but something small and stubborn inside me refused to roll over. I chose the uglier road, the one that demanded I wrestle with my pain. And though it felt impossible, it shaped me into someone stronger than I ever believed possible. I know you can walk that path too. Today, we're plowing straight into the uncomfortable truths that life's darkest moments reveal. These truths aren't just about treading water till the storm passes. They're about forging yourself into a tougher, more relentless soul. Hardships fade, but you endure. No matter how fierce the chaos, it eventually fades. When you're neck deep in crisis, maybe your savings are gone, your heart feels ripped in two, or everything you plan just crumbles. It seems endless. You're gasping for air, convinced there's no way out. But let me tell you, no storm is infinite. It's how you stand in the middle of it that really counts. I remember a time in my life when every door slammed in my face. My career flatlined, my personal life unraveled, and each sunrise felt like a grim reminder that nothing was going right. One night, after yet another brutal day, I was walking home through dark city streets, shoulders drenched in relentless rain, feeling like I was drowning in my own hopelessness. I stopped in an empty alley, closed my eyes, and let a single thought pound in my head. Why me? Why is everything so damn hard? That's when reality punched me in the gut. This is temporary. No matter how black the sky, dawn always breaks. At that moment, I stopped asking, why is this happening? And started asking, how do I climb out of this? Because the real torment isn't the storm itself. It's clinging to the wreckage, obsessing over what's lost instead of seeing what can be gained. Look at your own past. You've survived every crushing day you ever thought would finish you. Those storms that tried to destroy you, they left behind lessons or shards of courage you never knew you had. That's how adversity works. Each blow is a hidden challenge, an invitation to become someone tougher, sharper than before. The trick is to recognize these storms for what they are, a test, not a permanent sentence. Feel the pain, let it burn, but don't let it define you. Because when those clouds finally move on, the strength you've built stays with you. Struggle isn't there to bury you, it's there to shape you, and you are more than ready for it. Don't let a fleeting darkness snuff out whatever light you've got inside. Think of all the times you nearly broke but didn't. You'll do it again, stronger, wiser, and one step closer to the version of you that you were always meant to be. Success isn't handed to you, it's earned. Stop waiting for an easy ride. If you think life will just hand you success because you suffered enough or hoped hard enough, you're setting yourself up for a rude awakening. The reality? Life isn't obligated to give you anything. And that's exactly why you can't waste time waiting on miracles. Once you grasp that the world owes you nothing, you stop feeling cheated and start building your own breakthroughs. Let's be blunt. We live in a culture obsessed with instant wins. Too many people crave comfort without struggle, results without the grind, and happiness without a shred of pain. But that mindset only makes you weak. I learned this lesson firsthand when my life caved in. A failing job, finances wrecked, one disappointment after another. I kept hustling, hoping luck would swoop in. Instead, I just hit more dead ends. Night after night, I seethed, wondering why it seemed so effortless for others. Then it clicked. Nobody was riding in to rescue me, and the universe didn't owe me an apology. So I quit asking, why me, and started asking, what now? I channeled my energy into what I could actually control, refusing to drown in self-pity. It didn't magically fix everything overnight, but it changed me. I became tougher, more relentless, and way more appreciative of my own struggle. Looking back, those hardships weren't punishments. They were stepping stones that helped me evolve. Adversity isn't an obstacle. It's often your greatest teacher. Truly successful people don't dodge hardship. They learn to thrive in it. Because life doesn't reward you for wishing. It rewards you for grit and consistent effort. So if you're still sitting around, waiting for life to treat you fairly or deliver the success you believe you deserve, wake up. Life isn't some benevolent force handing out freebies. You either seize the challenge or get stuck in bitterness. Success isn't gifted, it's forged. Those who accept that uncover a hidden drive they never knew existed. Those who resist stay chained to resentment. The choice is yours. Keep hoping for an easy pass, or face the grind and discover what you're truly made of. Your mind, your most powerful ally. Picture this. There's a force within you that can either lift you higher than any triumph or sink you lower than any defeat. Your own mind. Far too often, we treat our minds like distant strangers, letting fear and doubt take charge the moment life throws a punch. But here's the raw truth. Your mind is the single most powerful asset you own. Train it, and it becomes an unending reservoir of strength. Neglect it, and it will turn on you faster than any external enemy ever could. Let me share a story about someone I knew. Let's call her Mara. She was exceptional at what she did, but whenever life got chaotic, she spiraled into thoughts of total disaster. Instead of hunting for answers, Mara became consumed by every what if. Every minor setback felt like a catastrophic defeat in her mind, fueling a vicious loop of anxiety that made her shy away from potential breakthroughs. In the end, it wasn't the tough circumstances that broke her. It was the panic-ridden script playing nonstop in her head. One evening, she finally opened up about feeling trapped, like she was stuck down in a pit with no rope to climb out. I told her, your circumstances aren't the real enemy, it's how you're viewing them. That single sentence hit her like lightning. Gradually, she forced her mind toward what she could control rather than what she couldn't. It felt awkward at first, but as she moved her focus onto tangible steps, her old fears began to loosen their grip. She came out of that period not just intact, but undeniably stronger. The Stoics saw this ancient secret clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The important thing is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Let your mind plunge into negativity and you'll sink in self-doubt. But when you take the reins, question those spirals, refocus them, and steer them, you uncover a well of resilience that can carry you through any turmoil." So when you catch your mind tumbling toward worst-case scenarios, recall Mara's breakthrough. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to change this story? That's how you seize control rather than letting your own thoughts weigh you down. Make your mind your greatest ally, a guiding force that steadies you through every obstacle, no matter how big. Never underestimate the power living inside your head. Once you learn to shape it, no challenge can truly overwhelm you. The hits will still come, but with a trained mind, you'll keep standing. And that, in the end, is real power. Life doesn't owe you a thing. It's a hard punch in the gut, but once you really feel the impact of that truth, it can change everything. We grow up believing that if we just suffer enough, stay loyal enough, or put in enough hours, life will eventually pay us back. But life isn't a vending machine. It doesn't work on insert struggle, receive reward. That's a brutal pill to swallow. Yet once you do, there's a strange sense of relief, because you stop waiting for the universe to give you what you think you've earned. I recall talking to someone who practically bled for their job. Late nights, weekend hours, always bending over backward for the company. In their mind, it was only fair that a promotion or big raise would come along. Instead, they got laid off. Zero warning, no severance that truly mattered. Furious, they felt betrayed, like the universe had cheated them. But here's the real deal. The universe never signed a contract promising your efforts would be repaid in kind. This realization can crush you at first, but it can also set you free. Let go of the expectation that your struggles should be balanced out by the world. The second you do, You stop getting stuck in bitterness and start channeling your energy into what you can actually control. Your mindset, your grind, your resilience. You become the one pulling the strings, not some powerless bystander pleading for cosmic justice. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to think that all their sweat and tears might go unrecognized. But that's where real freedom lies. You stop blaming the world and you start molding your own path. You stop waiting on a debt life never agreed to owe, and you begin forging opportunities where none existed. So if you're sitting there feeling cheated or overlooked, ask yourself, what am I really waiting for? Because there's no scoreboard tracking your hardships, ready to hand out prizes. The moment you admit that, you step off the sidelines of your own life and get to work. And that's where the real magic happens. When you realize every bit of progress you want starts with what you're willing to do, not with what you think life owes you. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is a choice. Pain is unavoidable. It can shatter your heart, knock you down physically, or rattle your mind right when you think you have it all together. But here's the raw truth most people can't stomach. Though pain can hit you like a train, the suffering that follows is your choice. That choice can either wreck you or remake you. A few years back, I got a late-night call that forever changed my life. My brother, my rock, had passed. Out of nowhere, leaving me clutching at thin air. At first, it felt like the whole world caved in. I replayed every memory, every argument I'd ever had with him, haunted by what I should have said, what I should have done. Sleep became a stranger, and waking life turned into a fog of guilt and regret. But after a while, a raw realization hit me. No matter how much I raged or despaired, I couldn't bring him back. I was the one chaining myself to this torment. That's the Stoic principle in motion. Yes, pain is real, but letting it define you, turning it into suffering, is optional. Marcus Aurelius faced massive betrayals and endless wars. Yet he refused to drown in self-pity, focusing instead on what he could control, his own response. Viktor Frankl, surviving the hell of concentration camps, reached the same conclusion. No matter how horrific your world becomes, your mind still belongs to you. They showed that even in the darkest pit, it's your perspective that determines whether you sink further or claw your way out. So don't think pain is the enemy. It's simply part of being alive. You decide if it becomes a life sentence. Heartbreak can break you, or it can spark a fiercer version of yourself. Failure can bury you in shame, or teach you how to stand taller next time. The difference is in how you frame it. Accept that pain will find you, but choose not to suffer. Acknowledge the hurt, glean its lessons, then move. That's real strength. That's how you transform hardship into fuel. And that's what Stoicism is all about. Recognizing that you hold the final say. The agony is forced upon you, but suffering is the chain you can refuse to lock. Instead, let your pain forge a braver, sharper you. Life doesn't wait for your recovery. Here's a hard truth. The world doesn't hit pause just because you're broken. Whether you're grappling with heartbreak, betrayal, or a series of personal disasters, life keeps moving forward. Deadlines loom, responsibilities pile up, and everyone else continues their journey. Harsh? Absolutely. Unfair? Without a doubt. But that's the brutal reality we all have to face. We're often led to believe that when we're hurting, the world should somehow stop and offer us a moment of peace. But life doesn't grant that courtesy. Time marches on, bills keep coming, and the universe won't rearrange itself to fit your healing timeline. I learned this the hard way. A few years back, I faced a devastating breakup that shattered me. I wanted to disappear, to hide away and let the pain consume me. But the reality was unforgiving. Rent was due, work deadlines loomed, and friends and family still needed me. Every moment I spent wallowing only made everything pile up higher. Nothing slowed down just because I was falling apart. Eventually, I had a moment of clarity. If I waited until I felt okay to move forward, I'd never get back on track. Healing can't be an excuse to stop living. It has to happen while you keep moving. The idea of putting life on hold while you mend is a trap that leaves you stranded while the world keeps spinning. This is exactly what the Stoics understood. Marcus Aurelius believed that adversity isn't a sign to retreat. It's a call to rise, even when it hurts. He famously said, What stands in the way becomes the way. Your obstacles aren't just roadblocks, they are your path. Life won't give you a break to gather your broken pieces. You have to keep moving, taking steps, even if they're small ones, while you rebuild yourself. Look around you. The most resilient people you know aren't those who avoided pain, but those who faced it head-on. They tackle their responsibilities, show up despite the hurt, and push forward through the chaos. Over time, this relentless pursuit turns them into unbreakable warriors, stronger and wiser with each challenge they conquer. Yes, it sounds cold, but the fact that the world doesn't wait for you is a twisted gift. It forces you to find strengths you never knew you had. If you linger, waiting for life to cater to your pain, you'll only fall further behind. You'll miss out on opportunities, watch others thrive while you stay stuck, and wonder why the world feels so indifferent. The real power lies in accepting that life keeps moving. Whether you're ready or not, let your healing happen as you go. No one is going to hand you a pain-free pass. No cosmic force will rearrange itself to suit your wounds. Instead, take every bit of turmoil you feel, channel it into action, and trust that day by day, step by shaky step, you'll regain your balance. Ultimately, you have everything you need within you to survive, to heal, and to thrive. Life won't wait, but that doesn't have to be a bleak message. It means you get to choose when to stand back up. Don't wait for the perfect moment or complete recovery, because that moment might never come. Keep pushing forward, even when it hurts, because life's pace won't slow down for you, and you shouldn't slow down for it. Remember, the world keeps moving, but so can you. Embrace the pain, harness your inner strength, and keep moving forward. Life owes you nothing, but you owe it to yourself to keep rising.